Come for a day out in Nottingham from Sheffield. I have been to the Nottingham football grounds in the past, but I want to do a quick video and show people. Got 2 football grounds. We've also got a cricket ground really close together. Here we've got the Nottingham Canal. I don't know a lot about it, but the first football ground we've got is Notts Counties, and what I'm going to do is see if I could get a bit of a view from the outside on it. I came here with about 10,000 other Wednesday fans when we got promoted in 1991 and won the League Cup final under Ron Atkinson, and I think we won at Notts County that day. Been to Forest a couple of times. Never seen Wednesday win at Forest. I've been executive, and I've also been standing at Forest as well, but give me standing any day. But let's see if we can get a better view of Meadow Lane. As you can see here, we're not far away from the town centre. I've come in by a train today. Train station's just over there where the old Broadmarsh shopping centre was. So we're down one side of Meadow Lane. It's quite a tidy ground now. Where you can see this is their cop. Well, there were about 10,000 of us on here when I came in 1991. When it was an open terrace in those days. It's a very different ground to then. What I'll do is stick my camera in the gate and show you from there. So we can't see a lot from here, but where you see that stand at the other end, I remember it just being a brick wall. Back in the early 90s, there was nothing there. So they've now got a proper stand at that end of the ground, so it's certainly a lovely tidy ground now. It's very modernised like, but we'll see if we can get another angle from the other side before we get down to the next football round. So that's the back of the cop. I think this is the modernised main stand just here. Looks like more like the main stand, but I bet there's a good atmosphere in this ground. It's very compact now. But I remember it having a old-fashioned stand down the side with like a peak on it, a bit like Sheffield Wednesday still got on their main stand. But as you look at the floodlights, they're probably better floodlights than they've ever been, but they don't look like floodlights anymore. So I'm guessing this has got to be the main stand. We'll have a quick look round the back, but I can show you another view in. So yeah, they've still got that stand. It's a stand with a peak on it, but it's not the original one. It's been modernised, but gives you a good view of it. Very nice little ground now. But I'm guessing this must be the main stand because it's probably got more of the facilities around it. Just trying to give you a view in it. See if I can get another angle on it. So it's a bit further around the main stand. I'm wondering if I can just get another view from the other end. I don't know if the other end's the away end or not. So we've got Jimmy Cyril and Brian Clough on there. I'm just trying to get at the back. But I've just had Forest fans walking past me. We're right next to Notts County ground. I just want to show you the away end bit. So that must be the main stand up there. And just here, if I get across the road. just here we have the away stand. But like I said, back in the 90s, very run down back in the 90s, Notts County's ground, and this was just like a wall. I think there was a few supporters in here, but they didn't have a decent stand at this end back then. And we had the big away end, which is now their cop. So let's go and see if I can find either Trent Bridge or Forest ground. So we have a couple of legends from Notts County. Are they the oldest football club in the league? I've got that right. So we're right by the side of the Trent now. To the left hand side is Meadow Lane and Notts County, and here we've got Forest ground, and you can just start to see the floodlights, the Trent Bridge as well. But it's an absolute beautiful setting. But I couldn't have picked a better day, could I? So let's just zoom in on that main stand. Now, back in 1983, when I did the Nottingham Marathon, I actually ran under that main stand, but it wasn't as it is now. I think that was the main stand. I'll have to see when I get round to the ground, but I'm absolutely sure that was the main stand I ran under, the one with the executive boxes on. But we'll get across the bridge and I'll show you a walk around the ground, and let's get down to Trent Bridge. So what a beautiful setting for a football ground. I've just been told that there's an argument between Nottingham Council, who were bankrupt, who are charging Forest £250,000 a year ground rent, and they want to raise it to £1 million a year. I'm just wondering if I can see, you just see the floodlights for Meadow Lane over there. So that's how close the grounds are. Not very far away. We'll see if we can get around the ground now. So I'm just crossing the bridge now. I'm going to turn left. Go down to the football ground. It's a beautiful area. Like I said, I think I must have run right up this road when I did the full Nottingham Marathon. It's too boring and lonely now for people to do the full Nottingham, so they only do 13 miles. Best excuse I've ever heard, that. Thing is, I would have never bothered to have done a half marathon. I always wanted to do the Sheffield full. I did the Nottingham in 3.5 hours, and I did the Sheffield full in 3 hours 10. And then I called it a day when I was 21. But if it had just been an half marathon, I wouldn't have bothered. So I think that's pretty poor show from people. Which feels like a summer's day today. Look at it. So Forest are in bottom 3, I think, and they've had 4 points deducted as well. So, but people tell me that it's very difficult to get a ticket now. Even Wednesday last night, in a dire situation, we're getting, I think, 28,000 yesterday. Trying to work me where I am now at the ground. So I reckon this is the original stand with the executive boxes, which I've been in for a meal. But it's, yeah, see if I can see down here. I can't see out down there. Just see the main stand, but I'll see what I can see when I get around the ground. But you can see these modern builds now, which I don't like at all. They look brick, but they're not brick, a lot of them are just like tile covered, and they're going up in all our major cities. Something I document in Sheffield. It's a very tidy ground. They've even got a museum here as well. But you have won the European Cup and League under the best manager, who was never England manager because he wouldn't keep his mouth shut. Said it as it was, which I've got more respect for somebody like that rather than the current England manager. So we're not going to be able to see much of the ground here. It's pretty enclosed forest. I don't think we can stick us. See if I can get around the other side, and if there ain't much here, I'll get off to Trent Bridge. You can just see how close the two grounds are though when you see the floodlights for Meadow over there. So we're outside the Brian Clough stand, executive box. This is the main cop. I've just been talking to somebody, and I'll keep the subject off YouTube, but us and Forest fans know what happened, and that's all I'll say. But this has been the stand that I ran under, the first stand I showed you. That's been heavily developed since I went in. I had the executive treatment there years ago, but so I don't know what's going off here today. Oops, wrong way. I want to go round. There's something going off by the looks of it. I don't want to get involved in that. But somebody told me there's a big event today. I think we're still a long way off the match, and it's really funny to actually see football supporters of the other club actually outside the Cop and Meadow Lane. So that's the Cop. This is coming round the corner to the other stand on the side. I'll see what I can get on the other side, and then I'll pop along to Trent Bridge. I was just looking here, you can't believe it, this is the number of stewards they've got. So they must be sorting the stewards out at the moment. I mean, it's quite unbelievable to how I used to remember football. I mean, I went to Old Trafford in the 90s and I had the executive treatment, VIP, stretch limo from the station, and I said, if this is the future of football, I'm not interested. Give me standing terraces any day. So that's the Bridgeford stand. So it's strange, this is the corner on the other main stand coming round, and then it drops down in height. It's a bit weird, this stand, but none of these turnstiles are open, and we're sort of getting up to 1 o'clock, I think. So I'm only about 100 yards from Forest Ground, and we're now at Trent Bridge, so we'll have a little walk around Trent Bridge. I might be able to get a bit more of Forest Ground on the way back, but I'll do Trent Bridge and then sweep back round. just see a little bit from here. But it is a lovely ground now, Trent Bridge. So you can see what looks like the main pavilion. Superb, isn't it? It's sort of getting close to cricket weather now as well. We'll just get around this corner and see what else I can see. You see the size of these. You won't believe it's a cricket ground with floodlights like this all the way around it. So they're charging for football parking here by the looks of it. But Lyle was a famous bowler, if people don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous that I've walked through Nottingham town centre not seeing a single policeman, and then you get near the football ground, they're everywhere. And I think they actually cause problems at football matches. I mean, you can see quite a bit of that up there, can't you? I think they cause a lot of the friction, and I said that to some police at Hillsborough, that why don't they just get out of the way and let the fans fight? You know, what I meant by that is put an area in the middle of the football ground, like a terrace, and just let them go in and fight. And the policeman said, they won't fight if we're not there. Well, what does that tell you when a policeman's telling me that? He says he'll just hide behind us, and that's where the friction comes from. I've seen a 1970 match between Chelsea and Wednesday at Hillsborough, 50,000 in, and both Wednesday and Chelsea fans were mixed together on the away end, because a lot of Wednesday fans still use the away end back then. So we used to be able to mix without having the police here, and like I said, I think they cause more of a problem. I think they cause the friction. See if we can get a bit more around there. Now let's see what I can get on this other side. Just have one last look at the top and then see if I can get forest ground on the way back across the bridge. Sort of see them stand through there. I mean, that looks something else, doesn't it, up there? See if I can just get you that. You've got to have some money to go up there, haven't you? See what else we can get on the corner round. So there's a view of the ground, and there must be the first fixture, 5th of April, 11 o'clock, Essex versus Nottinghamshire. It's the last view of Trent Bridge, and then I'll see if I can get anything of the forest ground. So before I walked one way, this must have been the other way. I've got a bit confused with this ground because I'm told this is actually the Cop end, and this one here, Peter Taylor, is the side stand, and then you've got the Brian Clough stand across there, which is their main thing. But that must be where I went in the executive boxes. It's just really weird looking from the outside of Forest Ground. So sorry I mislaid you. That's the Cop. The one across there is the one with the executive boxes in, down the side of the pitch. Then this is a Peter Taylor one looking a bit scruffy, and then the away end must be the other one at the other end. So sorry I confused you. I confused myself. It's very disorientating outside the ground.